Hello everyone and welcome to today's edition. Made a couple trades today. Let's see, I made an Apple trade for a little loss. Apple calls. Um, Traded SPY calls pretty early on, 10:08. Take a look at that. Entered calls at 10:08, which was right about the end of this candle. It's a little bit of a riskier entry because of the distance here to my stop, but and also we had some overhead resistance here. But I like the fact that we had, the stochastics were coming up. I like this fact that we bounced off of this support area, and again, we talked about the support areas yesterday. This was a pre-market low. We bounced off the pre-market low, made another big green candle. I got in shortly after this candle started. I believe this candle was actually green when I got in, and it pulled back slightly and then it took off. So I got in at 10:08. I paid $1.43. I sold it at 10:26 for $1.58 for 10%. 10:26 would have been right at the beginning of this candle. My plan was originally to hold it to here, but I decided to sell it here because we were getting near these. It wasn't pre-market highs, but we had a high right here, and I was getting near that, and I had my 10%. It was only one contract because I didn't, I wasn't overly thrilled with this entry, so I only went in with one contract, just nickel and dime trades. What I'm trying to do is kind of show that you can build an account, you can make money, on little wins here and there. The biggest thing, like I've said before, you have to get your commissions down. I do not pay a flat fee. I only pay commissions per contract, so I can buy and sell in as many lots as I want, and it doesn't cost me any extra. That's the key. Now, made that trade. Then I bought Apple at 11:02. I paid 236. I stopped out at 11:45 for 225. Another small position. I was actually up on that one slightly. 11:02. Let's take a look at what Apple looked like at 11:02. Move this over so we have more room here. 11:02 would have been right about here, right about the open of this candle. The problem was it went up. Problem was I bought next week's expiration, so it didn't move the way that I wanted it to. I was up. Let's see, what was that? Next week's 215 calls. Yeah, I need more. I need more computer. This thing's just not powerful enough. I got in, where did I say it was? 11:02, right about here. Right at the beginning of this candle I got in. The problem with it was, I said it was next week's 215s. Right here. So I paid 236, and if you look at it, it only made it to 240. This was a decent sized move from here to here, and still only went up 4 cents from what I paid for it. Let's take a look at if I would have went with this week's expiration. Now, granted, this week's expiration is more dangerous because it's more volatile. But that volatility can work in your favor. I normally wouldn't have traded next week's until after tomorrow, or until tomorrow, but 11:02. Where are we at here? 1102 would have been um, right about the open of this candle. So I would have got in roughly at $2, and it made it up to 216. That's 7 or 8% probably. So that would have been a decent move. I probably actually would have sold right about here. I didn't sell today at this level because I was barely above break even. But if I was up 7% here, I probably would have sold some, at least some of it. So that's kind of the risk of playing further out options, but you know, the risk can go either way. Played BABA, traded BABA at 1122. I bought calls. This one took a while. This one I had to I don't want to say I had to work for it, but I just sweated out for a while. I got in at 1122. I thought I had a pretty good entry. I got in just after this candle opened. What I liked about it, it was holding these levels. We had quite a bit of support under here. We had some spinning tops at the bottom of the cloud. I got in just after this candle opened. Rode it up. Let me see what time I got out. My first exit was right at noon, so I was in it for about 45 minutes. First exit was right at noon, so right here at this candle I got out. Got out at, what I say, 12:00 and 12:01. Basically 12:01 and 12:02 were my exits. So I got out right, both of them at this candle. The reason I got out, we were coming up to this 100 simple moving average here. And at the time I didn't know it, but it turns out we had a spinning top here, which is potential reversal. It could be a continuation candle. You don't know till you get confirmation, but the confirmation was here that it dropped down. So I got out right here. I think I paid $1.01. My average exit was $1.10.5, so I got 10%, 9.5% or so on that trade. So that worked out good. The Apple trade didn't work out. It should have. I played next week's expiration. Otherwise, I probably could have got at least something out of it. Paper trades today. I made quite a few paper trades. I also paper traded the BABA. I actually got in BABA first with the paper trade, and then decided to get in with the real money. So I traded that. Basically, it break even on Tesla, 390 to 380, so $10 loss on Tesla. BABA traded Facebook. Paper traded Facebook. Let's take a look at that chart. Yeah, I wish I would have still had those. Paper traded Facebook and got in at 122 this afternoon. So I got in right after the open of this candle. Again, risky getting in after a big red candle, but I figured my stop was going to be down here, and it was a paper trade. I know I shouldn't do it with a paper trade. I should trade it like it's real money, but I just wanted to see what would happen, and I actually did stop out of this one. I got in at the open of this candle, and I paid $264. I stopped out. Got in at 122. I stopped out at 3 o'clock. Yeah. Why didn't that work out then? I got in here, and I got out at 1458, which would be over here. Okay, that's why I lost money on it. I got out over here at 1458. So it was a very small. I got in at 264, got out at 254. I don't know why I didn't sell up here. But then I got back in again. I got back in at 303 and I added to it at 308. So I got in right at the beginning of this candle. I got in. I like this bounce off of a pivot with a large bullish engulfing candle. So I got back in here at 264, same price I paid last time, and then I added to it at 308, which would have been right near the close of this candle. I added two more, so I had 4 contracts. I sold the first one at 332, which would have been just before the close of this candle, so about this level here. Sold the first one for 288. Sold the second one actually about the same time for 293, so it would have been closer to actually it was 332. So yeah, near the close of this I sold for 293. I had an order in to sell the last two at $3. Didn't quite hit it. I think it hit 297 or something. So I sold market sell at 339, which would have been right at the beginning of this candle. I did a market sell for 279. So I made about 7 or 8%, 6%, something like that on this trade, paper trading. So all in all, it was a pretty good day trading. You know, like I said, I'm doing smaller position sizes, smaller amounts. You see, I'm only up $23 for the day, but more or less what I'm trying to do is to show that you can do this with small amounts. You know, I went in here, I paid $143 for this. This one here I paid $236. This one here I paid $202. So if you had $250 in your account, you could have done this today, made $23. Even more if you wouldn't have bought Apple. But yeah, so I'm just showing it can be done. I forgot to mention yesterday I made another trade in my other account. I did it over my phone. I traded Merck calls. Let me pull up the Merck chart, take a look at yesterday. I got in Merck yesterday. I think it was around here. I did it on my phone. I'm not logged into that account. I don't think I can see yesterday's orders. Let me pull it up and see if I can see yesterday's orders. Order history can be found in the All tab. Okay. Filter. There we go. I got in yesterday at 9:41 a.m. So it would have been right at the close of this candle. I got in. I bought calls here. I paid $1.87. They were May 17th expiration, so I had lots of time on them. My plan was actually to swing trade these and hold them overnight, but it ran up pretty good. You know, yeah, it definitely pulled back here. It wasn't a big pullback because, like I said, these were May expirations, so they didn't pull back real far. I sold them at 1:02 p.m., which would have been, let me zoom out a little bit so I can pull this over. 1:02 p.m. would have been right around here. And this here, I missed these highs. I was watching it. I missed this because I was at lunch. I saw this, and I think it was I sold it at $2.25. I think it was up to like 237 or something right here. It started pulling back, and I decided to go ahead and take my. I think I made 18% or something. $1.87 to 225. I'm not sure what the percentage was, but I decided to go ahead and take my profits there. What did it do today? I don't know. I sold it roughly at about 74.80. Oops, that is today. Alright, scratch that. No wonder it looks so funny. Alright, here's what I bought. I bought it at 941. Bought it at 941, lots of support underneath. Right after this candle opened, I bought it. It ran up all day. I sold it at 102, which would have been right about here. Sold it right about here. Yeah, it kept going up. Would have been nice to have held it. Would have been nice to have held it overnight, because when I sold it at 102, it was trading right around 74.70. It made it to 75.25. So I guess that exit yesterday wasn't bad. I mean, it would have, yeah, I might have made a little bit more if I would have sold it over here. But my best exit would have been right here. But like I said, I'll still, I'll take my profits, take what I can get with it, and that was out of my other account. So that worked out. Can't complain about that. So I've had a pretty good week and a half. I didn't trade much last week. I think I only traded 2 days, but yesterday, actually, if you combine my two accounts, I made money yesterday. But just with this account here, I lost money yesterday. But yesterday was the first losing day I had in about the last 10 days, the last 10 trading days, or the last 10 days. So since Friday, I don't know what Friday's date was. Friday the 12th, I think it would have been. So I didn't lose any money last week, any days, and yesterday was my only red day this week. So since the 12th, yesterday was my first red day. So yeah, it's it adds up. Base hits win the game for you. I don't want to take up too much time here today, but we'll take a quick look at SPY. I drew out my support and resistance lines. You see it respected that one, it respected this one here. It lost it here, but it came back, it respected it a few times here. So, and we never got back up here to test it again up here. This here was yesterday's close. It respected that over here. So, I said, draw your support and resistance lines and practice with them till you get good. It's more of an art than a science. So I drew them on a few other charts today. I think I drew them on the Apple chart. Let's see how that looked today. Came up and tested it a couple times. I don't know what this one was, why this one's here, what prompted me to put it there. It may have been, I may have put this here after the morning highs, right there. Respected it there. I had this one here. This was from this probably quite possibly today's this morning low. I might have put it in afterwards. It may have been from but way back here. I don't know. But you see, we kind of came over and respected it here. Even after market, it respected it. Had a couple here. Not sure what, I'm not going to go back and reverse engineer these and figure out why I put them there, but you see we kind of bounced around. A lot of traffic in that area today. We crossed over them several times, kind of respected it here, respected it all through here. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Apple. I don't like trading Apple. I don't know. I just haven't had a lot of luck with it. Same with Disney and Boeing. Those are three I never really had much luck with. But anyway, that's it for today. Keeping it short. See you all tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Later.